Inside Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. The last time I was in Miami, I was producing some videos, and we went to South Beach, and everybody had a mojito. Well, we're going to talk about the MOJITO diet. A doctor designed a 14-day plan to drop some of that unhealthy belly fat and weight with Dr. Juan Rivera. He is board-certified internist and cardiologist. He trained at Johns Hopkins, and he's seen regularly on Univision as the host of the Dr. Juan Show. And we really appreciate him joining us today. Congratulations on the book. I've asked this question a lot lately. Is America healthy in general, do you think?
Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to talk about the MOJITO diet, Mark. I appreciate it. We know that America is not healthy. We know that our obesity rates are significantly higher than what they should be. About 60+% of our population is either overweight or obese. We know that cardiovascular disease is killing way more people than what it should, taking into consideration that cardiovascular prevention works. We have a significant amount of people that don't sleep well. So I think we have a sleeping problem epidemic here in the U.S. And we're obviously dealing with an opioid crisis that is unfortunately hitting way too many families in our country. So I can't, unfortunately, say that we're healthy.
You're a young guy. How many hours a week do you spend in the gym?
You know, I work out almost every day. I would say at least 6 days a week. It is not only my way of staying fit and healthy overall, but it is really, really my only hour, Mark, away from my patients. I don't answer my phone when I'm exercising, whether I'm doing some spinning or weights or boxing. It's just my time with me, and I enjoy it a lot. And again, I think that that's how people should think about exercise. They should do something they enjoy, whether it's dancing or swimming or playing tennis, something that will help not only physically but also mentally.
Your diet, the MOJITO diet, is a weight loss program with a twist, and that could be either a lemon or a lime, I'm assuming, and if you really want to go off base, you could use an orange. What makes the MOJITO diet stand out, and what makes it work?
So, Mark, I'm just going to tell you how it all started. For years, as a cardiovascular prevention specialist, I've been helping people to lose weight. And let me tell you that every time, at least in Miami, my experience has been that when I tell someone that they have to stop drinking to lose weight, they basically all complain. So as you know, in modern medicine, we don't practice paternalistic medicine anymore. We're helping people as best we can. So you end up negotiating with patients. And I've done this forever. I've told my patients, well, if you do this intermittent fasting and if you do this, then perhaps you can have your 3 drinks a week. So the idea came from my experience, from that constant negotiation from patients. And also the fact that I don't like diets that feel like it's a punishment. I want people to enjoy what they're doing. I want people to continue celebrating life with friends and family, and if having a mojito here and there is going to make them happy, well, I want them to be happy. So what I did was I put a 2-week plan together that is going to allow them to lose the weight while having these 2 mojitos. People think it's a mojito every day. No. It's 2 mojitos a week.
If I had 2 mojitos, if I had a mojito a night, I'd never wake up the next day.
Yeah. Well, think about it, Mark. The national guidelines here in the United States tells us that women can have 1 drink a day and men can have 1 to 2 drinks a day. That's what we call moderation. So what I've done...
Are we talking about cocktails or wine? Because there is a difference.
Well, basically the guidelines, the professional guidelines will tell you how many ounces of wine you can have how many of liquor you can have, beer, etc. So when I say 1 to 2 drinks, it could be any type of drink as long as you're doing it in the right amount. Well, I can tell you that if you're doing that every day, you're not going to lose weight. But at the same time, I want people to continue enjoying that once in a while if they enjoy it. So what I've done is I've designed this 2-week plan. It's very simple. The first week, I call it a grain dropping week because a lot of the problem that we have in this country is with carbohydrates. So the first week is going to be a high-protein diet, low in carbohydrates, or almost no carbohydrates, although I do allow people to eat fruit that first week. And then the second week, I incorporate a concept that I'm sure you're familiar with, and your people listening to this are probably familiar with it at this point in time. I call it a clean 16 fast, which is intermittent fasting. A lot of data showing that that's very helpful, not only to lose weight, but to decrease what we call insulin resistance or to help blood sugar control. There's a report that just came out on Science that shows that intermittent fasting can also be really good for controlling your blood pressure. And finally, there's some preliminary studies that show that intermittent fasting could be actually very good for brain health.
Let's talk. Can you describe intermittent fasting for us? I know that there was a seminar for healthcare professionals within the last month and a half, someplace, and everybody participated for the weekend, and they all felt great afterwards. What is intermittent fasting?
So there are many variations of intermittent fasting out there. The one that I support is the 16-hour fasting, which basically what I tell individuals is they should stop eating at 8 p.m. and they can resume at 12 p.m. the next day. Now, 8 hours of those 16 hours, you're going to be sleeping, and then the other 8 hours you can drink either black coffee or water or tea, or better yet, there is a recipe in my book for mojito water that you can drink while you're doing the intermittent fasting, and it's basically water, and I add mint and lime, and it's actually very good while you're fasting because it curbs your hunger a little bit.
Gotcha. Yeah, 16 hours, I could do that. Of course,
it's not hard.
No, that wouldn't be bad. With a lot of diets or weight loss programs, to me, are food prisons, and the human being likes difference. Okay, so one day we're going to eat Cubanos because you're in Miami. I'll say that, a Cuban sandwich. The next day you might have some kind of Italian food. The next day it's Chinese because we like variety. We like different tastes always.
I completely agree with you, Mark, and that's why in the Mojito diet I literally do not eliminate a complete food group like some diets would do. For example, the first week, yes, I'm telling you to drop grains. We want to kickstart your metabolism. But during the second week, I'm already introducing some of the good carbohydrates. I don't want my patients or people following the Mojito diet to completely avoid a group of food, like carbohydrates, for example. Because as you say, it's just not sustainable. So these diets, in my opinion, that eliminate carbohydrates, let's say forever, what ends up happening is people do lose weight for the first 2 months, 3 months, and guess what? It's not sustainable. So eventually, when they open the floodgates and they start eating carbohydrates again, they overeat and they gain the weight. And as you probably know, Mark, the yo-yo dieting, in other words, people that lose weight and gain weight and then lose weight and gain it back again,
they gain more.
That's even worse for your health than staying at a steady state level overweight.
Can you be fat and healthy? Can you be overweight and healthy? In other words, if somebody is, say, 5'10", and they weigh 300 pounds, they do exercise, their blood pressure is in check, and they're not diabetic, is that healthy? I mean, it seems to me to be
it's a great question, Mark, and usually doctors are afraid of answering because people might get the wrong impression. But let me tell you medically the answer to that question. The reality is yes. There's about 10 to 15% of people that are going to be overweight or obese and healthy. Why? Because they're by BMI criteria, body mass index criteria, they're obese, but internally their sugar metabolism is actually working great. They have a controlled blood pressure. When you do heart scans, they haven't developed any plaque in their coronary arteries. So it is possible to be overweight or obese and healthy. That being said, we don't want to get the message out there that it is okay to stay overweight or obese, because eventually one of the things that will happen is that it will affect your joints. You'll start getting knee pain. You'll start getting joint issues that will prevent you from exercising, from walking, and eventually you can definitely develop cardiovascular disease or diabetes. By the same token, there's another 10-15% of people that are thin and not healthy, and that's what we call TOFI, T-O-F-I, thin outside, fat inside.
Uh-huh.
These are people that are genetically predisposed to being thin, but when you look at their blood sugar is elevated. They might have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and if they don't go to the doctor or a cardiovascular prevention specialist, they're going to go throughout their lives thinking everything is okay because I'm thin.
Or drop dead in the meantime. The Mojito diet has interesting recipes in it. Garlicky lime shrimp is one. Catlin fish stew. Are these family recipes, or did you develop them yourself?
So some of the recipes, especially I have to be honest with you, I'm a mojito fan. So some of the mojito recipes that you will
chocolate
find
mojito
there, are recipes that I created with a professional. I have to give credit to. I worked on this book with a nutritionist. I worked with a professional recipe creator. So
come on, you didn't use your grandmother's recipes?
I did. Some of the ideas definitely came from my grandmother and even my mother. But the reality, Mark, is that what I wanted to accomplish with the recipes was basically to show individuals that they can eat pretty much everything, or a lot of the foods that they like.
Right.
If they do it the right way, they can lose the weight and they can improve their clinical markers. I wanted also some of the recipes to have that Latin twist, because that's my culture.
Of course. I think that it's great. We'll do the next one. Will be the pastrami diet, and we'll figure out that one too. I'm Mark Alyn, along with Daryl Wayne, the insane one, and Dr. Juan Rivera is our guest, the author of The Mojito Diet. Join us at latenighthealth.com. We'll have a picture of Dr. Juan up there, as well as a link to his website. All right, don't go away. More coming up as Late Night Health continues. We'll wrap up in just a couple of moments with Dr. Juan. Don't go away.
Welcome to Guide to the Soul. This is Robert Clancy. The greatest bridge you can cross in life is one that connects your heart with another's. Giving of yourself is the ultimate gift of receiving. Love bridges the distance between any two hearts, even if that expanse is between here and heaven. This connection is unbreakable when it's built upon true, unconditional love. So why not love unconditionally? You're not giving up anything except your fears. Love is worth more than any one heart can ever hold. That's why it's meant to be shared. Isn't it time to use your heart to show the world how big infinity is?
For more inspiration from Robert Clancy, visit GuideToTheSoul.com or go to the Moments with Robert page on LateNightHealth.com.
The latest from the greatest, the best in new music by classic rockers, with your host, the insane Daryl Wayne.
This is Alice Cooper, and if Daryl Wayne is insane, what does that make me? Criminally insane. Stick around to find out.
Many of the artist interviews for the latest from the greatest have been captured on audiobook. There is a Volume 1 and Volume 2. Great information and conversations with people in the industry and people surrounded by the industry, and of course the rock stars themselves.
I'm the Reverend Al Green, and you're listening to the insane Daryl Wayne. And I said Wayne Insane.
You can find it on Amazon or Blackstone Audio. Search for the latest from the greatest from Daryl Wayne, Darrell Wayne.
Hello, this is Weird Al Yankovic, and you're listening to the insane Daryl Wayne, aren't you?